Hey guys. Oh, sorry about that. So this one is called Three Times by me, obviously. Who else? Oh, okay, never mind. That was stupid. I've been in an ambulance 3 times, dying for a different reason each time. The first time I was 7 and my lungs decided they weren't gonna work and my airways swelled shut and my lips turned blue. My dad and mom and grandpa and little sister, who was just turning 6, all cried and freaked out as I was air-vac'd from one hospital to another. I lived, obviously, after 6 days of IVs and machines and crying aunties with stuffed animals. The second time was very different. See, I was dying because my 15-year-old self had gotten so sad and so alone that I took a bottle of pills and texted my friend telling her I was sorry it's not her fault and that I love her. She told me no, and I said yes, the pills are gone, and she tried to call and she kept texting. And the last text was an ambulance is on its way, but I was already out. And I was awoken to the doorbell and my stepfather yelling my name and a bunch of police officers asking me questions that I think I answered correctly as they walked me downstairs and put me on a stretcher. And in the ambulance, a really nice guy made me drink a really gross liquid that would make me better, and I wanted to say no, let me die, don't save me, but they did anyway. And I spent my week at a fancy hospital with a lot of rules and other kids who had scars and sad eyes like mine. The third time wasn't much later. I was 15 still and was walking home from another therapy session. It was evening and I was tired and it felt like crying. I remember thinking about how bad that day was as I heard a familiar noise as I looked up. The bars were going down and the lights were flashing red as the train was coming. I remember dropping my bag and running down to meet the train. I remember I closed my eyes and I was thrown back and off the tracks. As I heard a man calling 911, I couldn't move. I wanted to say no, stop, and I remember it going black, and I remember looking down at my body, blood all over the place, my head cracked open and my arm bent at an odd angle. And I remember the ambulance pulling up, and I remember them jumping out and announcing me dead as they loaded me in. Then I woke up with tears streaming down my face as I looked at my arm clock and sighed, and these dreams I have remind me of that rhyme with the egg on the wall and how the king's horses and king's men couldn't fix it, and it makes me think we're all eggs, some of us just sitting on our walls trying to protect ourselves because we've already started breaking, and they point and they laugh, just like they always have, and it makes me wonder about all the bullies and the sleepless nights and the fighting. It makes me think about the parents who don't care and the kids who are falling apart and broken, cutting open their skin and drowning themselves in alcohol or drugs. No one cares, and no one fucking cares. And we are broken. We fell off our walls because they pushed us. Our pieces are shattered on the ground with the bullets, pills, ropes, or knives that helped us there. And they send the therapists and the doctors out to put us together, and they can't, so they slap some pills down and tell us to fix ourselves. And we put some duct tape around our hearts and try to tell ourselves we'll be okay, but we're just empty shells lying and filling ourselves with anger and hate and crying ourselves to sleep as we cut ourselves apart. And they wonder why we end up in an ambulance for the 4th time, for the last time, and they ask themselves where they went wrong. And they care when it was too late, and they blame themselves and ask what they should have done.